Hey everybody, it's Barbara, and today I'm very excited to bring to you my review of the East 59th Street capsule collection, which is not only giving us back Victoire and Aurelia, but is also introducing us to Aurelia's brother, Augustus Gus Blake. And I've styled this as if to represent them sitting at the Queen Mary because I've been able to find some really cool accessories to share with you, and I'll talk about those too at the end of the video. So here we have the lovely Lady Aurelia Gray, much like her BFF, soon to be, Victoire Roux. They are both sharing in that they have a very nice glossy red lip that will be repeated in their fingers, in their fingernails and their toes. Hold that thought. We'll get there. I just wanted to talk for a minute about, obviously we're going to keep talking about her face. She has brown gray eyes and not inappropriately, given her last name, gray eyeshadow. A very light gray on the lower lid, a gray brown on the upper lid, fading to nothing as we get to the brow. The brow is not real, but her eyelashes are real. They are applied. And she has some blush to define her cheekbone. You might recall when I talked about Victoire, I said that her hair was very period specific to the 1940s. This is also a 1940s hairdo, but this front roll here, bouffant, you've seen it again much more recently, so it's not as period specific as Victoire's. And Aurelia's hair is also a softer roll that again you see frequently now, tied very nicely and appropriately in white ribbon. Um, I'm sure the ribbon comes off. I ain't doing it. And just to keep turning, she matches her soon-to-be BFF in jewelry in that Victoire was wearing a sea green, sea blue earring in the flower pattern. Here, Aurelia is wearing hers. It is completely sapphire blue, which of course is going to match this gorgeous brooch that I have placed on her left hand bosom. The brooch is Art Deco, completely appropriate to the era they're just coming out of. What are called minor cut diamonds, and the sapphire in the center. She is wearing a white lace blouse underneath her blue velvet or faux velvet suit. The suit will open and close with hook and eye. The blouse appears to have a sateen sheen to it with almost like a cummerbund waist. The suit is lined in sapphire blue suiting, as will be the skirt. The blouse is not going to open in the front, but it does open in the back with hook and eye, as does the skirt. Neither Victoire nor Aurelia are wearing stockings. I'm not terribly surprised by that for two reasons. One, given the period of time, nylon. Pantyhose had barely been invented. Nylon stockings, silk stockings, they were still a commodity that could not be gotten even by the super wealthy, because that sort of material was still necessary for the war and the recovery efforts. So it's not a surprise that they are not wearing stockings, especially since you also don't wear stockings with open toe shoes, one of which I broke because me and I don't like buckles. But these are appropriate period, appropriate heel, appropriate blue to go with her outfit and her purse, which I'll show you in a second. And of course her toes are the same red as her hand. And once again, as I was saying with Victoire, Integrity has really doubled down with these long nails. Y'all better be careful because you will hurt yourselves. She does come with gloved hands, which I did not put on because I liked letting her hands free. in this particular look. She also comes with what would be an appropriate hat for the era. Very tiny, almost like a neonatal pillbox hat, except it's not. It looks in its construction like somebody took ribbon and wrapped it around a few times and then put the doily on top. I wasn't quite sure if I really wanted this on her head, so I left it off. Her purse is the blue version of Victoire's green purse. It opens quite wide. And in Victoire's case, I used one of the props from the boarding, and I will show it to you again. You know, your typical telegram or ticket, which can very easily fit into this purse. This is what I'm talking about, folks, when I say playability. Sometimes you get very lucky and stuff in the quarter scale is going to fit. Unlike Victoire, she does not have an evening look per se. She does, however, have a look that sort of matches her brother. She has that 1940s style, sort of tailored, tapered waist, the longer, higher waist pants, longer leg. Perhaps because this is closing in the back, it does close with hook and eye, unlike Gus's trousers, which close with Velcro. So these are her trousers. And that's it, and that's her look. Yes, obviously, when you're on a ship and you're going to be on a ship for a week, you should come with a lot more clothing, and maybe that's something we will see a little bit further down the line. But for an Aurelia, this is quite lovely. If you haven't gotten an Aurelia yet, this is a good one to get because much like Victoire, the eye palette is neutral. And you can pair it with other ensembles. I eventually will. I will be putting them in, nicer summer clothes so they don't die of the heat. And unlike Victoire, because Aurelia's hair is a bit more not period specific, this is a hairstyle that transcended the 1940s. This is a good Aurelia to get. This is also, by the way, not a bad Aurelia to get if you were looking to, say, I don't know, do a repaint and get yourself a Markle. Maybe you want a little Markle sparkle. This is not a bad one to then restyle and repaint into Princess Meghan, who is still a princess because she married a prince and nothing is going to take that away. Snap, snap, snap. Okay, guys, so let's go back. Let's put all three of them together, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about playability, about the different fun accessories that I've been talking about, and we will say goodbye. So as I said, everyone, there are some really cool accessories that I've been able to bring to this, and I'll be using in, I'm going to photograph these dolls a lot over the next couple of days, using these accessories. These are coming from a few years ago. Sandra Stillwell presents, let me hold it this way. Sandra Stillwell presents Hollywood Ahoy. And it was featured, I think if it wasn't on the Queen Mary, it was set up as if it was going to be on the Queen Mary. And the Queen Mary originally was the steamliner that was specifically meant to sail from England to California, to Hollywood. And this is how people filming in Hollywood often made their way. Now, being on the Queen Mary, and of course being on a high-class ship like that, means you're going to have lots of different, I guess the best way to put it is goodie bags, extras. So for example, you would have a pamphlet like this, which is the Queen Mary's temporary plan of first class accommodations on the Cunard, and it's a layout of the ship. All cruise ships have their own newspaper. In this case, the one for Cunard, or the White Star, was called Ocean Times. And Rio Tinto mine employees reach Helava, and the date on that would have been August 16th, I believe that says 54. So I'll have to double check that, give Gus back his newspaper. Obviously, if you're going anywhere, you're going to have lots and lots of luggage. And whoops, and I was able, and they also included little passages and that also includes a little tag for your luggage from the Cunard line. Unfortunately, none of this luggage actually comes from East 59th Street, and I understand why. Right now is not the time for them to do or redo luggage, although probably some keen eyes saw the original Coco Fashion Royalty luggage and the new Perrin luggage. Little inside joke there. But going back to Sandra Stillwell's accessories, when you're at a hotel, you usually get the hotel stationery. Well, that goes for floating hotels as well. You have the letterhead, a couple of envelopes. Again, the plan for first class accommodations, some postcards. These are all, by the way, 1/4 scale or meant for a 16-inch doll. But if you notice, for example, this is a bit of artwork of the ship. But if you notice, it still mercifully works very well. This says today's program, British spelling. Join us for a pot of tea, breakfast, lunch, afternoon tea, and dessert aboard the Queen Mary. That may have been the actual program for the convention or for the day they visited the Queen Mary. This is the menu for the lunch. This is the menu for breakfast. Or at least it would have been back in the day. And this is the list of passengers that would stay in a particular cabin. I was actually on the Queen Mary several years ago. Now it's permanently docked in Long Beach. And those books where you can write your name in if you're staying in the stateroom, they still exist. So if you can find these accessories, they would be a lot of fun to get, especially now that we know that they are sailing, they being the East 59th Street crew, are still sailing back and forth to Europe. So I'm going to hold up the box again, and hopefully you guys can find it. This is what I talk about when I say playability. The luggage that is over Augustus's left shoulder was custom made for me. I will put the link, they're called Morphe Miniatures. I'll put the link in the description below. And the bunch of luggage that's over here in the front was made by La Boutique. The brown luggage in the back toward the left-hand side are pieces from different action figures. The Hermes, all the way in the back, was made by La Boutique. And then, as I said, that's the classic FR luggage too. So, for Lady Aurelia Gray, her brother Gus Blake, and for our heroine, Victoire Roux, I am Barbara, and I will see you in my next review. We're going to go back to action figures, and we're going to go back to that wonderful collection of action figures that I forgot to put the sound on for. So everybody, I will see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.